Whatever happened to albums having just 8 songs?
Especially this band.
I
How
know.
about 2 songs?
Yeah, we go for 2.
I got Stop Singing.
All right. Well, welcome back to the podcast. Say What You Will podcast. Talking, I guess, rock from 40 years ago to the month. And this month we are in August of 1984. Got Dennis and Mark here in a, what do you call this, a cabana?
Cabana, yeah.
Cabana.
Yep.
Out in Dennis's yard. I've never been out here.
Beautiful night.
It's an awesome night.
Hey, listen. No rain.
Yeah.
It may start raining.
Yeah, don't jinx it.
I know that last podcast I was listening to. It's like you can hear it just pelting the.
Yeah, with
we're
thunder
on the
coming.
Easy up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, all right, cool. Well, any news and tidbits you guys want to jump into?
I'll start if you don't mind.
I don't have much for news. But
Oh my God, there's so much.
You and I are probably on the same page with this one, but the Motley EP.
The what?
Yeah, the Motley Crue EP.
I thought they pulled a kibosh on.
There's 4 songs. There's the Dogs of War, right,
Yep.
which we've already heard.
Yeah.
We talked about, and then the Beastie Boys cover.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah, it is terrible. I
What
mean,
cover
what?
is
It's
Fight for your right. to
Fight,
party.
yeah, fight for your right. Like, if you're going to do a cover of something maybe a little bit more abstract, or I mean,
Right.
it's just awful. And then
I'd rather them cover Madonna.
yeah, right, really. Just try to be creative and try to make that music, hard rock or whatever. But then there was some quote with John 5 who said that he wasn't certain that they were actually going to put an album out of material.
Well, that's what I heard.
And then
that
he's like, I just get
they
paid
said
or
there's
whatever.
No reason in this, era to do that anymore.
Right.
There's no benefit. There's no money in it. There's no reason.
And they're not going to create any buzz with new music.
No, right.
Everyone that's going to see Motley is nostalgic, and they want to hear the old '80s.
Yeah, and they probably don't want to. They're all flash right now. It's all they don't want to risk. I'm sure putting out an album that sucks.
Did they even do a tour this summer? Did they do dates?
Yeah, they went
that?
back out,
I remember
didn't
them
they?
signing up for some, but I didn't hear.
I thought they went back out with Def Leppard without Poison.
No, Def Leppard's out with Journey.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I thought they were out there again.
They're out with someone else too.
Huh.
Yeah, no, I could care less about them.
So you agree?
Although I did see a video of Tommy the other day, and I didn't realize he's got 2 face tattoos.
Yeah, he's had those.
Oh, yes?
Yeah, he's had those for a while.
I never noticed. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, he got those a while back, but I don't know what these guys are doing.
It looks like they're touring.
Huh.
The August 29th, tomorrow, they're playing Minnesota.
Who were they out there with?
No idea.
Mohegan Sun, not far from us.
What?
Connecticut, August 31st, Saturday night.
That's not a big venue.
Nope.
Well, it's an arena.
Labor Day weekend.
Is it?
Yeah.
Then they're playing in the end of September. You're right. It's only a few dates. September 26th with Slipknot, Slayer, and Korn. It looks like a...
Mark's face right now.
Why?
Yeah, they got some... looks like they're out by themselves for the most part.
Yeah.
Band's done. So the song sucks, I think. It's...
John 5's on tour on his own.
Oh,
too.
he is?
He's coming to Wally's. I
Oh,
don't know
really?
when. You can look that up.
Sure, I will.
You couldn't pay me to go, but
No. I don't even think his guitar sounds great on that.
Why is it
Fight
so
for your
high?
right
He
to
looks like
party.
Roy Clark playing freaking banjo on freaking Hee Haw.
Yeah.
Pull that fucking thing down.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm surprised Nicky Sixx didn't pull him aside and say, dude, listen, you can't have your
But
guitar up there
here's
like that.
here's the thing.
You look like you're in the Beatles.
But but here's the thing.
Face
Nicky
paint.
Nicky doesn't have he doesn't have an argument like, hey, it doesn't look cool because look at Tubba here in the middle of the stage. Like,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. I guess
but I know what you're saying. It's not a look.
it's not a look at
Name
all.
me an 80s hard rock or rock and roll band who had a guitar player that played the guitar up like that.
In the 80s?
Yeah. I can't think of one.
None of them.
No.
No.
It just
No.
wasn't, you know.
Rock and roll is
It
somewhat,
didn't look cool.
right. Rock and roll is cool. And
I think the highest guitar I saw, and it wasn't really high, is probably Eddie. Eddie didn't have
Yeah.
it down like Perry or
Yeah.
Page or.
Yeah,
You
John 5, September 2nd. Yeah.
What's he playing? Oh, he was in White Zombie. Where did he come from?
Steel Panther, August 25th.
he was
that'd be
in
fun.
Rob Zombie's band.
That's
Yeah.
his claim to fame.
Yeah, that's his big one.
Yeah.
We got to go to the casino for that Rival Sons show.
Oh, yeah.
Thought of that the other day.
Oh,
That's-
oh, yeah.
I don't know if it's September or October, but we got to check that out.
Where's Tesla? And why
They're
aren't they
torn,
coming
they're
anymore?
not in the Northeast.
Why won't they come up
Right.
here?
I don't
anymore?
know.
It pisses me off. I heard another song the other day on Pandora from them. Man, it was good.
Yeah.
Later album, but I don't know what the song was, but I love that
Cold
band.
Blue Steel. That's a good song.
It might have been, or they put an album out with that single, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, there was some good tunes there.
Yeah, great.
Do you have anything, Mark?
John, I had one thing I was going to. Oh, did we talk about Aerosmith calling it quits?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if we talked about it. We talked about the book, I think, the last time, the photo book.
Yeah.
Yeah, we may have. Yeah, packed
He's
it
got
up.
vocal problems?
You know who we didn't talk? I think so. I think it's just
Yeah.
tons of years of, you know.
Because they're in the same boat as Motley, right? They don't need to release anything.
No.
They just every summer go out and you're going to play any way
Yeah.
you want, right?
I don't think they made a commitment not to make more music, but whether they do
They were
that
trying
or
to do a
not.
farewell tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of them do that. It's a cash grab.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then you come back. How many times did Kiss do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Eagles.
Right. Right.
So is it more of a business decision or is it a real health decision with Tyler?
Yeah. I think it's a health decision.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they stopped the tour for over a year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I tell you
Yeah.
what came of that was good is Black Crowes went out on their own, and I saw them at MGM in Boston. That was. I want them to come around again. I'd go see it again. That was really, really good.
There's some shows coming to Tupelo. Well, obviously KK Priest with
Yeah.
Sap.
Yeah, I got a ticket to that. LeBlanc got me. I'll be going to that.
Oh, about Jack Russell.
Yeah.
Passing
Yeah.
to Jack Russell. You know, and I had this
Yeah.
conversation with Rick the other night. And I go, you know, you think about the 80s singers that came from the 80s, not the 70s, because there were guys in the 80s, but they weren't from the 80s, right? Even David Lee Roth wasn't from the
Right.
80s.
Right.
You know, Plant. There were great singers, you know, Klaus Meine, you know, Halford, but they weren't from the 80s. You think of how many great singers came out in the 80s that were, you know, that stood out. And I put him right up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an 80s singer.
Oh, it's awesome.
But how many were there?
Well, we're going
I
to talk
mean,
about one
Piercy.
tonight.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Piercy is no
Yeah.
Jack Russell.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
Vince Neil. I mean, there's not a lot of guys that came out in that time period that was
Pure
anywhere
singers.
near Jack Russell's.
Just seemed like
vocals.
everything happened fast with him, you know, as far
Yeah.
as releasing the news that he was gonna retire. Then there was the book thing that came out, and then all of a sudden he passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I've saw him at M3, and
He's a real
he was
deal,
in
dude.
rough shape though.
Oh,
I mean, you
yeah,
could
yeah,
tell.
yeah.
I mean, you know,
But you also saw him on Defenders, right?
Oh
Or-
yeah, well yeah, that was right.
and that's
84.
prime.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
yeah.
the Russell
right.
you want to
yeah,
see.
It's
I saw him open for Whitesnake. On that
In
whole
his
Whitesnake
prime.
record. Oh yeah,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
awesome.
That's
Wow. Once Bitten.
what? Yeah. I mean, come
It
on.
was Still of the Night tour. That album.
wow.
Talk
Yeah.
two
But
great,
yeah,
two
no,
great
that's-
singers.
61,
He
62.
was pretty young. Yeah. But
Right.
he lived that life, man. He was the real deal.
Yeah. That
know.
book's going to be interesting.
I think it's out. Is it out?
Well, you said the hard copy, I think.
I
but-
don't think there's going to be an audio or anything like that. So I think
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
I mean, this guy did prison time, didn't he?
yeah. We
Yeah.
talked about that.
Yeah.
Shooting
Yeah.
the maid or whatever.
He's the real deal.
Yeah.
you
Lived
know.
on a boat.
That's
Yeah.
right, Captain
Yeah.
Jack. Yeah.
I guess the Alex Van Halen book is
That's
Oh.
coming out. No, it's October, I think.
or coming out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's due.
And it's going to be audio, which I.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Alex
wait
is
for it.
doing all the
that-
audio.
Oh, he is.
That's what I heard.
Oh, well, then I'm definitely going to get the audio.
He's
Which
doing
is
the audio?
surprises me with him.
Yeah.
Because as wild as a guy he was through the whole Van Halen years, he was a pretty
Quiet.
quiet, you know, you don't know much about that guy.
No.
No.
You know what I mean? When the tours were done, there was no signs of him.
No.
He wasn't on the Sunset Strip like Tommy Lee
Well, he wasn't,
in the headlines.
he wasn't even out like Eddie and Dave.
No.
You know, he was just off.
Yeah.
What was the whole
for him to do
Reverend-
that? It's kind of impressive.
What was the whole Reverend Al thing? I never got that. You know, they called him
He's
Reverend
he's a pastor,
ordained
or
minister.
ordained minister.
Huh.
Yeah. I think he married Eddie in his. I don't remember her
Latest
name.
one.
Oh, that public relations
Yeah,
woman
he's,
there.
he's-
yeah.
What do they call those guys? Justice of the peace.
Oh.
Yeah, I think
Huh.
he
Call him
he's one of-
Reverend
He's,
Al,
he's
yeah.
involved with that somehow.
So the music. Well, go ahead. Ed.
No, the music.
Well,
about-
there's supposedly the rumor is there's a unreleased song or a music
I
that
heard
they
that.
It's
did.
called
yeah.
Unnamed, I think.
Yeah.
the
Right.
song.
So he's gonna talk over it, I guess, while
Yeah.
it's playing in the background or something.
Something.
I don't know.
I don't know. There's a whole catalog of music in that studio.
And video, that picture I sent you today
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
Eddie
okay.
on stage, Van Halen
That
2.
that was
Huge
no,
camp-
that was Woman and Children.
No, I think it was
Oh
2.
yeah, look at Eddie's outfit.
I think.
That's Woman and Children tour, and it's a guy with a camera on Eddie. He sent me it today. Oh, you sent it.
I sent it.
both,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this footage of that concert,
I think there's a date. There's a time stamp on it from Texas.
it's got to be 80.
Boy, they really held things close to the vest. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
so
but do you think at this point that's biting them in the ass that
Yeah.
they don't have like who talked about the US Festival where you can watch Triumph in crystal clear video
Yeah,
like it was
yeah.
made yesterday,
Yeah.
and then when you watch Van Halen, it looks like it's from 1860,
yeah,
It looks like the
yeah.
Kennedy Sabroya film,
which
or
I
whatever
think
that's
was
called.
by design back then.
Yeah.
But now,
Oh, it's just
I don't think that was a smart move
no.
to not have that
Yeah. Well-
history.
Speaking of Van Halen, I watched the Wolfgang behind the scenes on Paramount.
Right.
What's that?
It's a behind the scenes of Wolfgang Van Halen, and he's very open. Tears up, talking about his dad.
Wow.
It's him, Val's brother, the other founder of EVH when he started the guitar company, and it's a really good interview.
Wow.
Like it's heartfelt, but boy, did Eddie have demons. They go into it.
They do.
Yeah, like
But why?
Well, that's the one thing. Like I'm watching Wolfie share all this stuff in Val, and I'm going, Al has got to be pissed that they're sharing this personal
Yeah.
information.
Right.
Well, because you think he was the guy that should be divulging this information, or he doesn't want it to get out at
He
all.
just would rather it not be out. Like, you know,
Yeah.
if he was still alive today, he wouldn't be talking about it.
Yeah.
Probably, you know, that type of thing. But
I mean, what are any demons that we're not aware of that you were like, well, I didn't know that? Or-
just how, the grip of alcohol and how it took on him, and Wolf getting in his face and saying, you know, you're effing.
But you know what? Al quit drinking in 88 when their father died. So why didn't he step in for his little brother and say, knock it off? This has got to end. Why was there any intervention with this guy?
So some of the
I mean, this guy just
hear you.
rotted away in
So-
front of our eyes. We saw him.
So we may
happen.
find this out in Al's book, but some of the demons that we're kind of leading on to that I never knew, that their family was incredibly disruptive and mean's not the right word, but the parents were like incredibly bad
Abusive?
parents. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, his father was a musician.
Wow.
Smoker, drinker. He's probably just an older version of Eddie.
Yeah.
I don't know what the mother. The mother looked like she was an Indonesian,
She was
import.
Hawaiian, wasn't she?
Or I don't know. Where
Okay.
no, I thought she was Indonesian or something.
But
So who knows their relationship? And they were lower middle, not even middle class. I think that he came from lower
yeah.
class. You know what I mean? And
Well,
maybe
I mean,
it was going from rags to riches, and he couldn't handle all that. You know, he was a shy guy.
But very good. Check it out.
I will,
It
yeah.
talks about his ups and downs, and like I was very impressed with Wolf and his perspective of all this. As he's 31 or 32 now,
yeah.
and I'm like he must have had to go through heavy therapy. Like he's well grounded.
Yeah.
And Lisa was watching with me. She goes, "That's amazing that he's releasing this great music." And Val's talking about how exciting it is and how impressed and this and that. And I'm going, I go to Lisa, I go, he's released 2 albums. When Eddie was 32, he had 6 albums. No,
Yeah.
7 albums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but that
Yeah.
was a different era.
Yeah.
You were putting albums out every year back
Right.
then.
Did they talk about his smoking? Because essentially that's what killed him, right? I mean,
Yeah, they talked
cancer.
about, actually,
I mean,
they
that
did talk
was
about, I
worse
didn't
than
know
the
the
drinking.
cancer had gone into his brain. I didn't know he had a.
That's how he wiped out
Remember
the
I
bike.
Well, I messaged you. I was like, I didn't know he had a motorcycle accident and then had a stroke after that.
Yeah.
So learned some details that I wasn't aware of. But the other little detail that was interesting is he talks about the Dave tour when they went out and how he got Dave to come back in.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
talking about Dave. He's using his name and everything.
Yeah.
When he talks about the band getting back together with Sammy, he says, and then there was that break and they got back together with that other singer. He doesn't use his name. And I'm like, I don't think he likes Sammy Hagar.
Who's the nicest guy in the world?
Yeah, I know, but
Come on.
But here's the thing: your dad hates someone,
Well, yeah.
maybe you're gonna hate
I get
someone.
that.
Yeah.
But
So when you call him that other guy or that other singer and not reference Dave, I was like,
But-
not reference Sammy, I was like, wow. So that was interesting. So yeah, it's good.
well, no, I just want to say, look at the relationship with Hagar and Michael Anthony. And Michael Anthony's the nicest guy in the world, right? So, and then we see how Dave is now, right? So, when Eddie's down on Hagar, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, it does make sense. It makes sense in the side that Eddie and Al, or Eddie more than Al, have these fucking demons that, like, I wasn't aware of, that Wolf was talking about. Like, they were really fucked up in the head. Like, they,
Yeah.
sounds like they had some issues.
Right.
But there's
And-
no way they can dislike Hagar more than Dave.
No, I know.
I mean, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Well, so towards the end.
Who doesn't like Sammy Hagar?
But-
I mean, this guy could walk in this cabana right now,
Well,
and
Mark,
we'd
I
have the
think-
best time with that
I think
guy.
money also, there's money issues there, right? The business, add managers into the equation. And,
Well, they talked about
you know,
when he got in Van Halen, he brought in his manager, and I think that caused a lot
he
of...
brought in his
He brought
travel
in some
agency.
friction.
He
Yeah.
brought in all
Yeah.
that. But don't forget, too, that it all ended, the last years of Eddie was with Dave and not Sammy,
Right.
right? So there was
But why?
that never got mended for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
so, anyways, all right.
strange.
You got anything else, Den?
No, I think.
Really? Jeez,
yeah,
I'm gonna be talking
No more
here.
complaint. Yeah, no,
That's all right.
Nothing. Just looking forward. We get some shows that will coming up that.
Sebastian Bach.
Oh yeah, So we got to figure that one out.
I have a.
Where's that coming?
Wally's.
Wally. So that could be
I
something.
guess we can't miss that.
Well, right, and I think that some of the people listening to this podcast, if they can't go, would love to hear Sebastian Bach coming to New Hampshire. I mean,
That Reich show's coming to Tupelo too.
who?
Reich, doing that EP and
Oh yeah,
Warning again.
That'd be fun.
yeah, I'd go back to that.
Yeah,
Man, that guy could sing.
yeah. I mean, it's
I mean-
right, one or two guys, and but it's
He's doing all the great,
Yeah.
the stuff we like. The pre-Empire. I mean, I love Empire. I love Operation Mindcrime, but the Die Hard start with the EP and the Warning.
yeah.
And,
Well, let's check the
Rage
date,
for
make
Water.
it happen.
The Sebastian one. I have a other commitment that I'm trying to see if we can move.
Okay.
But
What's the date?
November 1st. Did you ever see
Yeah.
Skid Row?
No, never seen.
I
him.
saw Skid Row.
Well, you and I saw him at the. Where we go? Worcester Rod. Remember?
No.
Oh, Pantera opened it, didn't
That's
they?
right. That was for Slade. Yeah.
Oh, that was
But I
Pantera
saw
and
them.
freaking Skid Row.
I saw them at the Channel
Oh,
in
wow.
Boston.
Wow.
Warrant, Skid Row, Kingdom Come
Wow.
at the Channel.
Kingdom Come headline that?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. I met Lemmy Wolf that night. That was like 88?
Yeah, 88. That's when that album came
Yeah.
out. The first
He's an
album.
interesting guy, huh? Lenny Wolf.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what was that? It was, they played 2 songs from the new album, that album out.
In your face.
Yeah, yeah. I remember that. But yeah, Lenny Wolf, he was an interesting guy. But yeah, I
Good
saw him
singer.
way back. So it'd be fun to see Sebastian just in a small place like Wally's.
Yeah.
So I saw Metallica.
oh
I
yeah.
got a lot to
Oh,
say.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Dan, I know you saw ABBA, or what'd you see?
No, we went to Casey and the Sunshine
Yeah,
Band.
I know you saw that, and you probably want to talk about it.
talked
But let me,
about- I talked
let me
about
talk
going
about
with you there,
Metallica.
yeah, go with Metallica.
I didn't see Wolf because we couldn't get in at the time, but I could hear him and I could see him on the screen.
So it was Wolf, Pantera, Metallica.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And I didn't see Wolf or Pantera. I came in at.
Oh, you missed Zach?
Yep. Watched them on screen. That was about it. But
Well, where were you?
so we had these VIP tickets.
Yeah.
And so we got in like in between Pantera and Metallica.
Yeah.
And then we went down. You saw the seats I was in.
Yeah.
I was right down.
Yeah, it was nice.
low.
Yeah.
But interesting thing with that stage being that oval.
Like I hate.
What's weird about it is that there's no amps.
No. There's nothing.
Now I get it from
Where are they?
so
Amps. Underneath or something?
I don't even know if
I mean, they must have
yeah.
an amp with a mic and there's a PA
Yeah.
hanging, right? They must have
There's
something.
PAs. There's like these towers, like 8
Yeah,
towers
towers.
around with screens on them, and that's the speakers. Sound quality amazing. Viewing amazing. Like no matter where you are in the stadium, you got a good view. But I still want to see this massive stage and light
Yeah,
rig.
the traditional
and-
setup. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not like a fucking Van Halen '84 show.
Right.
With the
So what are
amps
they
and-
like
So-
in the middle or
Yeah,
something?
it's like in the
middle,
round.
but they're in like it's not even a circle in the middle. It's like this.
It's like a track,
It's like this. It's
Yeah.
like I'm sure. What
like
is
a
this called?
circle. It's
What is
thin.
this?
coaster.
No,
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
Ken,
Just
it's a
And
light
are people
preserver.
in the middle?
there are people in the middle, like a snake pit,
Yeah.
and they can go in and out.
Yeah, it's just like a thin track in the middle, like that,
It's like a track.
circle.
It's like a racetrack
Oh, okay.
with different levels too.
like
So-
a big donut.
Exactly.
It's a big donut.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I got
But-
past it after a little bit, but so there's different levels of it. The only there's wedges on the stage at the mics,
But
So
why? They're wearing in-ears.
They're in it, but it's got to be like a fail-safe, right? If those
sure.
crap out, you can go over to a mic
yeah. Okay.
in here. But what's interesting is Lars's kit.
Does he have a couple?
He's got 4 of them. He's got
Four drum
4
sets.
kits. So it starts, he's one side of the stage, he's up, his kit's up there, and he's playing.
Yeah.
And then after like 3 or 4 songs, they all go underneath. Like weird, trippy music plays over the PA. That drum riser goes down, and another one pops up in another part of the stage. And then they come back
That's
out.
because he wants to play for everyone, right?
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't want to be
plays
on
for
one
all-
side all night.
Right.
Yeah, I get it.
But it's weird. There's a break. It's like a intermission at a theater show.
Yeah, it's different, man. This ain't
It's
the old days, which I'm not a big fan of it. You know what started that? Def Leppard
Yeah.
in the round.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate that in the round, and I saw Metallica in the round. I don't. Back in, I don't know, maybe 2000 or,
Yeah.
early, not early, but and I don't know. What do you think, Dan? I don't like the round.
Yeah.
Not a fan of the round.
I think they're just trying to,
And trying to
be
involve
creative and
everybody,
stuff.
engage
yeah.
everybody.
Everyone
I
gets
get
involved, and I think you can sell more tickets
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
that place sells out. Because you don't have the big section behind the stage blocked at one end of the stadium
No.
if you were to do that.
I mean, look at the Spear, right, in Vegas. I mean, that's...
I have no desire to go there.
Yeah.
What is that?
You're inside a dome, and there's imagery playing all around you while you're watching a band on a stage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have
That's
no desire to watch
That's
things.
a distraction.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to fucking watch the
Yeah.
band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing that sucks, everybody likes the lights to go down, then a band to come out on stage. Doesn't Metallica walk out like all the house lights on
It's
and shake
boring.
hands
Yeah.
and fucking Hetfield's smoking a cigar and
Yeah.
talking to the fans? It's like there's no more mystique,
Yeah.
you know?
They sounded great, though, Darren?
But the sound was amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
And then at the end, they end it, and they're walking around the stage, throwing out picks and doing this. Lars did say something cool. He goes, he was thanking everyone. He goes, back in 1982, we came to Boston and played a place called the Rat,
yeah.
and now look at us, we're here.
Yeah, I mean, they've come a
Amazing.
long way.
And
They're the only thrash band, if you will,
yeah,
to get to that level, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
How many bands with that genre got to that level? None of them.
no, they're huge.
Just them, because they were kind of, I guess, the innovator, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I saw a headline today. They're out on tour. Kirk Hammett said they're out on tour with 64 guitars, and 36 need to be ready at all times. So they have different sections. The other thing too is they don't go onto the stage at one section. They go onto the stage at all these weird sections.
Yeah. See, I don't know if I like that.
It's
but-
bizarre, but I mean, it was free, so I didn't mind it.
Yeah, great music.
Yeah.
So, and I got one more thing. So my son started college Monday.
Yeah, Florida State.
Yep. Today he had his first big, what do you call him?
Hazing.
He had his-
Orientation or something?
No. He's in classes.
Oh.
But the first class, it's what do you call them when there's a ton of people in them?
Orgy.
Oh, no.
Oh, what do you call that?
That's what I called it.
I was just talking
When I
about
was
it
his
today.
age.
yeah,
But anyway.
like a big meeting or whatever.
So
It's,
he's in this class that's going to start 600 people in it, right?
Ugh.
It's a huge,
Classroom.
It's a huge theater that he's in. So they're all sitting in there, and the class is getting ready to start, and a huge projector screen comes down out of the ceiling, comes down, and stops. What goes on the screen blaring full blast?
VH.
Kickstart My Heart.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Guy
my God,
starts off
really?
the presentation with that blaring.
Wow.
He goes, Dad, they just played Kickstart My Heart video. so the whole class is all pumped up and ready to go.
Well, that's a song that'll do that, obviously.
So funny though.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's gonna pop in my head what those are called. And,
Yeah. So he's good. He's all set up.
good. He's in there, loving Florida. You know,
Yeah. Wow.
doing his thing. So,
Yeah.
all right, we got 3 albums here to get into.
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh.
We got W.A.S.P, self-titled, Hanoi Rocks, 2 Steps from the Move,
Yep.
and Y&T, In Rock We Trust.
Nice. All right, what do you want to start with?
Dan Pickett.
W.A.S.P, self-titled.
All right, let's do it.
W.A.S.P. Here we go.
Let's dive in.
August of 84, self-titled album. Stephen Duran?
That's his real name.
Yep.
Blackie Lawless, a.k.a.
Guess how old he is?
Oh, he's got to be close to 70.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's been
67.
around.
Oh, yeah, because what was the band he was in before this?
London.
Well, he's in
Wow, he was... Yeah, didn't him in 6
that was London.
kind of start something, and I think 6...
He was in bands before that, though, I think.
Right.
Yeah, he's been in a few different bands before he started this project.
Yep.
So, just give you the numbers typically do. U.S. chart, Billboard 74.
Not too bad.
7.4, yep. And
Oh, yeah,
then
yeah.
gold,
Yeah.
gold in it was gold. The album UK was 51. So a little bit more popularity overseas.
What do we know about
You think they
Mike
like?
Varney?
Do they like the cod piece more overseas? You think? They saw.
Well, it's
I know.
funny you mention
Really?
that, Derek, because we talk about Fuck Like a Beast. Didn't get released here, but got released overseas. So I
Right.
think they are a little bit looser
Oh yeah, you're
with,
right. Yeah.
with stuff like that, right?
The PMRC was all over these guys,
All over
right?
it.
They were part
from
of
the
the
start.
Filthy 15, as it was labeled.
Yeah.
But this is really kind of innovative in the sense of you've got metal and shock rock, right? Would you say? I mean, their presentation, they were,
You've got Alice Cooper stepped up a notch of
Yep.
metal.
Exactly. I put like 70s Kiss meets Alice
Yeah,
Cooper.
it's got that same feel as a Rocky Horror Picture Show. Just you could make a, what do they call it?
Theatrical play.
Theatrical
Yeah,
play out of it.
I
with
did-
just that style.
I did. I mean, not to give away my impression of the release, but I did look at YouTube a concert of 1984 because I wanted to try to experience the.
Interesting.
I think the present, like what this is all about because I never saw them live back in those days.
Right.
And you're right. It's that stage presence. It's the Alice Cooper thing, but it's harder rock, harder music. Yeah. I mean, I think they were kind of innovators in that regard. Whether you like that or not, I guess we'll get into that in more detail. And I also found that there was a little bit of that Twisted Sister thing going on, which is
They're
very
kind of cut
similar.
from the same cloth,
Yeah,
D was more melodic.
yeah, I think so. I would argue
Even in the beginning.
right?
Who? Lawless?
No, D.
Oh, D.
Snyder, yeah.
But still that kind of rebellious
yeah.
kind of
In
thing
your
going
face.
on. Yeah.
It's just like a transition, though, guys, where it seems like Blackie was, not to say he's not an artist, but it was more about the image more than the music.
Yeah.
And I think we'll get into the music soon, but
Yeah.
But they were never in my circle of listening at all.
nope.
I can't think of a friend who was like a big fan. or
No,
something.
you had to be a diehard. I think for me it was, and probably you, Dan. We found these guys at Inolite Records.
Yeah,
You find out an album. You look at the cover. I'm buying that.
right,
You don't even know what they sound like, right?
right.
And they,
Yeah.
But what I love about guys like him is just they're just so real. You know what I mean? There's
What you
no
see-
phoniness, you know, with these guys. These guys are living it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Black and Lawless is like the real deal. You know what I mean? And that kind of goes a long way, you know, more than the music, just the personality and the guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, the irony in all this is the accusations that are nowadays where, he is doing backtracks and he's not even singing. And his argument is, I'm trying to create a show that people will walk away and have fun
Yeah.
with. You know what I mean?
Well, I've noticed, I watched, after I listened to this album, I went out look at some recent live stuff, and he's sitting. He's sitting on a
Yeah, he's not healthy.
on a stool
Yeah,
the whole time. He doesn't move.
yeah, but is that
He doesn't
current?
move.
How long ago?
2004.
Yeah. Oh, well, now
the
he's
last
more.
tour,
yeah.
he was up on a
Yeah.
pedestal thing.
Well, now he's got just like a tall chair. He kind of leans back so you almost don't see it, and he's like, might look like he's standing from the front, but he's sitting on it.
huh?
You know, and I kind of fast forward to the end of the concert to see, like, is he going to walk off stage after this, or? And he did get out and he walked off, but he sits on that chair the whole concert.
Yeah. Yeah, he has some
But like I
health.
said, this guy's almost 70 years old. Right.
Well, he has health problems, or he talked on Eddie Trunk in a recent interview that I bitched about because I felt Trunk didn't
Well,
didn't challenge him as far as asking questions about.
And why? I mean,
Well,
you
like
and I have
why
already
I
talked
felt
about
like I think that if you have somebody that's being accused of not doing, what's your business model, Blackie? Is this what you're doing? Fine, let's talk about that and why you think that's
But he
important.
won't go
That's
there.
fine. I mean, if that's what, no, he didn't,
Well,
and he
we'll
may
go
argue because he's gone there before with him. But the other thing that I thought was unfortunate was he didn't talk about Piper or Holmes that were the original guys with some of that music, and I just thought like, maybe he felt like he didn't want to get Blackie all upset, and he's already talked about it.
Well, if you know
I mean-
Lawless, which I've seen interviews of him, you have to tread lightly with him.
yeah, yeah,
He's one of those guys. He's very arrogant.
Yeah.
I've seen interviews with that guy, and you got to tread lightly with him. But if there's accusations out there, here's your soapbox. Here's your opportunity to say, for Trunk to say, back it up.
Well, yeah, help me understand why somebody buying a
But
ticket
Trunk
to see
doesn't bring
W.A.S.P.
it up because Trunk doesn't want to ruffle feathers.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, he wants to be liked by everybody. He doesn't want to be that guy.
Right.
He doesn't want to be controversial with these guys. He just wants to be buddy-buddy with them.
right.
I mean, where if Lawless came on our show, we'd ask that question,
Sure.
right?
Right.
What
What are you doing it for?
What's sad about it is that Trunk went on a rant before he came on for like 20 minutes about people faking it and all this. And
Right.
then, hey, Blackie Lawless.
Yeah,
is here
hey,
today.
kissing ass.
I mean, you don't have to kill the guy. You can be respectful. He is
Right,
he's a legend
You're
to some
wording
people.
it the right way, Dennis. Like, what's the model? What should people expect when they come? And
Yeah.
are they getting
Right,
a live
there's a
show
way.
or
There's a
not?
way to
Right.
deliver your question.
Right.
But he avoids any controversy at all.
In this particular interview, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't want anything to do
yeah,
with it.
It's
He's
so-
acting like it's not non-existent. Like
But
that.
then don't carry that flag and make
Right.
statements because then people get confused if you're a listener and you go, wait a minute, man, I thought you were like, if you're going to beat up these rap guys or EDM music for this and not having a bass player.
Be consistent.
Well, why aren't you, leave them alone. Go after I don't know.
he didn't do that.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay.
First song, I Wanna Be Somebody.
So, just quickly, if I may, Blackie Lawless lead vocals, Chris Holmes leading rhythm guitars, Randy Piper, I guess, leading rhythm guitars, Tony Richards drummer,
Yeah.
Mike Varney producer. No idea who Mike Varney is. So-
Yeah, I got Mike Varney up here. He's got a pretty good track record. He did some LA Guns stuff. He did a lot of that shrapnel metal guys, which, Richie Kotzen, Friedman, Yngwie, which I don't think it was on there, Vinnie Moore, George Lynch. But he did a Great White album, Brides of Destruction. So he's in that genre, which we've talked about before. We got some producers that come in that don't have the rock background, and they go, geez, why does this album suck? You know what I mean? So this is a little bit on that guy. But
so the song there, if I'll start this, there was a video associated with this, and I think this was like one of their singles or the single. Typical paint by numbers metal song. I just put I think his voice sucks. There's no range.
No, I agree. It's a good opener.
Yep.
I like the guitar chugging in the verse, catchy chorus. Obviously, the chorus, repeating over like that gets in your head. Holmes' solo is, Holmes is pretty good. It's probably one of the better tracks on the album.
Yeah.
But, he's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you just...
I'm more into him just for his, like, carrying the flag of rock.
Yeah, right.
More than, his, compositions,
Yep. Yeah, I had the same. Good opener, good gang anthem chorus. This is their number one stream song on Spotify.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they blow their load right out of the gate here. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, Love Machine, LOVE, Machine. Next song.
So I thought this was. This kind of made me think it's like almost like a Kiss song. You know, with Gene Simmons singing this. I just thought like just a bad '70s Kiss song.
Yeah, not great.
The
solo was all right. I mean, Holmes, I think, is solid.
Yep.
On this.
Yep.
The intro riff was in the bass line was okay, and I think it's double bass mark to the song. Did you write?
There was a double bass song. I don't know if this was the one. It might have been this. I'm not sure.
All right, moving on. The third song, The Flame.
I thought this had like a little AC/DC intro. Bon Scott era. Then it just takes off. I thought it was okay. Not a good song, but okay. Again, I put Blackie, no range at all.
You know what his vocal reminded me of a little bit was he was going in and out of it was Kiefer. And I'm like, I wonder if Kiefer listened to him at all.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of that. But more of a poppy song than the first two. Anything?
No, I just got... I'm getting tired of Blackie's voice at this point. I'm only 3 songs in. Here.
Yeah.
And I've had enough of... his voice is overbearing, but the songs aren't helping either.
Right.
The songs are forgettable, so you got both going on here. So it's just not working for me right now.
All right. Fourth song, B.A.D.
I thought that this was kind of like a Motley intro. I don't know why I wrote that, but
it's surprising. They're that era.
Yeah,
he did work with
the way that the guitar, and then I put stupid lyrics. The song just kind of doesn't go anywhere. There's no hook, that keep us getting into it.
No, I get the same thing. More forgettableness, just not great writing, and the song is just that bad.
Yeah. I just said, can we jump to Y&T already?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So, all right, next song, School Days.
I got decent riff. I liked the riff when it kicked in.
I said this is a horrible riff, but go ahead.
I know. I don't know. For some reason, I like the riff, The chorus is goofy. I think there were kids singing the alphabet in this song.
Yeah, it was like Pledge Allegiance, right?
Yeah,
Pledge
In the beginning.
Allegiance, fucking ridiculous. And I made a note here. No musical distinction here. Like if you pull Blackie, you only know it's W.A.S.P because it's Blackie, right? You pull him out and you just play this music. That could be any 80s band, metal band, hard rock back then.
Yeah.
There's no distinction to the band.
Right.
The tone of Holmes' guitar, the drums are just whatever the producer's fucking queued up, and there's just nothing.
Well, I think
There's nothing.
We're seeing right now the blueprint, right? It's all about image. It's all about that shock rock stage presence and so
And
forth.
it's nothing about the music.
I don't think so, and that's why you got a guy who's doing backtracks right now, and not I don't know. I just
Well, hearing this vocal, he has to be doing backtrack because he
Good
couldn't
point.
sing
How
like
can you
this.
sing like that?
yeah,
without
good
one?
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just I didn't like the song.
But that's where bands lose me. When you can't decipher who the band is without the singer. Like if you took Jeff Keith out of Tesla, I know that's Tesla. If you took Dave or Sammy out of Van Halen, that was Van Halen. If you took Plant out of Zeppelin, I know it's Plant. You take him out of W.A.S.P, I don't know who the hell this band is.
And all those bands.
There's nothing there.
And the music stands on its own without the singer.
That's right.
Without
And all
him.
those-
Yeah. That's another good point.
Yep. I just said it was a really bad riff. It was more vocal melodic, but not a good song.
No.
No.
Who's writing this?
Blackie.
This
all
is all
songs written
Lawless.
by Blackie.
So Holmes isn't writing anything.
He did. He's going to do a song towards number 9. We'll get to that.
All right.
Yeah.
All
he
right.
co-wrote.
6 song. What is this?
Hellion.
Hellion.
Oh, this is the rapid drum intro.
Oh, it ain't the
But-
Priest Hellion, I can tell you that.
No. Similar tempo of the last 5 songs. I just put where's the creativity? Where's the writing?
Nothing. I got more of the same. Not enough riffs. Generic. Holmes. All right. The solo comes in. Holmes sounds pretty solid. The guy
Yeah.
can play guitar. There's
Right.
no doubt there. But these songs, it's like, this is so bland and just so ordinary,
Yep.
There's nothing there.
Yeah, you remove the show and there's nothing there.
Nothing
Right.
there.
I just said I'm getting tired of these tunes. And I'm realizing why this wasn't in my circle of listening back then. All right, Sleeping in the Fire.
Was this the ballad? I
Yeah.
put ballad open.
Yeah.
Blackie's lack of range is front and center here.
Yep.
Not
into it.
No.
No.
More
and I
forgettableness.
And I think, like you mentioned Holmes and, Nat, he's a good guitar player, but the songs, and we just talked about this, they're like 90% Blackie in that voice.
Ugh. Which just
You know?
wears on you, right?
Yep.
I don't know. Just too
All
much.
right. On your knees.
Didn't we hear this song 5 times already?
Just wrote that. Mark,
Yeah.
I did, same thing. I put same song as what we've heard.
Yeah.
He's like the same song. He's just putting different lyrics over the same song.
I wrote the same thing.
Yeah. It's bad.
Next.
Tormentor. And I wrote, whatever happened to albums having just 8 songs?
Especially this band.
I
How about
know.
2 songs?
Yeah, we go for 2.
I got Stop Singing.
Stop singing
That's it.
already.
The end.
All right. The torture never stops.
No, it certainly doesn't.
Tormentor?
Tormentor was
Oh,
the
I
last
skipped that one.
I just got Stop Singing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I got to turn over. Oh, yeah. Tormentor.
That's the one he wrote. He helped write Holmes. Tormentor.
Okay.
I got Off to the Castle.
Yeah.
Decent opening riff. Like the verse chugging in it. It's okay track. It's one of the better, It's the least smelly shit of all the pile of shit that was.
You talk about Tormentor.
Tormentor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he did have a lyric in there. I wrote a little note here. You're hanging by your balls. Like, come on.
Huh. Interesting.
Ugh.
The poet.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. 10th song. Jesus, too many songs.
Wait a minute. That's not where I ended.
No, there was another one.
I ended on Tormentor.
Well,
I ended on Torture Never. That was what I was saying.
The
Off
Torture
to the
Never
Castle.
Stops
Right.
That's it.
is the last song.
Number 10.
Off to the Castle.
Yeah.
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 It was. That's the one I was saying.
So I thought
You're hanging by your balls.
I actually circled that and said this is the best of the worst song.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, I didn't mind this song. Like it's a bad song. Okay, let's just say that.
Right.
But I mean, in
Like
terms
if you
of
had 5 piles of dog shit and you smelled
Which
all
one
5,
smells
which
better?
one
Yeah.
smells the best?
the one with yeah, the last one.
All right. So, Dennis, say what you will. Does this album hold up
It
to
does
today?
It does not.
Come on. What?
It does not. No.
Can't hear you. Mark.
It's just putrid.
Mark's going,
So-
I wish I could just rip one right in the mic right now.
Ugh, this album sucks.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised, Dennis.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to get a little more, because I haven't listened to this album.
No.
Fucking 35 years, right? I thought, let's go back and.
Yeah, you got to remember this is their first album.
Yeah.
So you would think that like anything that they've
something.
created or whatever
Yeah.
that built
You
up,
got your whole
that-
life
what
to
they-
make this
yeah,
album.
so here it's gonna go, and no, and they toured with they were supporting Kiss, Maiden.
They got on great tours. But how many other
'Cause
bands we've seen?
I looked at it. It looked like Crocus,
Yeah.
Helix,
They did
Quiet Riot Show.
Yep, Armored Saint.
Yeah,
a
they
little
got
bit.
on all these
like
tours.
like three bill or
Yeah.
3 bands, 4 bands. Yep.
Huh.
I don't know. Hype.
Yeah. All right. Next one. What do you want to do?
What about Hanoi? Want to get that one?
Hanoi
let's do
Rocks.
2 Steps from the Move.
Whoop, whoop.
Now,
Michael
what do we got on
Monroe,
these guys?
lead vocals. Andy McCoy, lead guitar. Nasty Suicide, guitars. Sam Yaffa, bass. Razzle, drums. I actually tried to look up what their real names are because this band is from, was it
Finland?
Sweden or something,
Finland,
right?
I think.
Finland.
Yeah, and I can see why they created these Hollywood names because it was difficult to
Yeah.
pronounce their names. As
Is
they were-
Monroe fake too? That's a state.
No, I don't think so.
What's interesting is I went back. So when we decided to do this album, and then I started listening to the album, I was like, I gotta go back and I'm gonna go back and watch some YouTube footage of these guys around that time.
I did that too today.
And holy shit, did
Axel.
Pussycat, LA Guns,
They
any
all-
of those bands,
It all
Really?
came from that.
they
Wow.
all came from this visual
Wow.
thing.
Yeah, even some of the sound
Oh yeah,
came
Yeah.
came from these guys.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
And this is another band that was really not in my sphere. Vigdor listened to him a little bit.
Well, they disbanded right after Razzle died.
Yeah,
Right.
So by '85 they were done,
yeah.
which was the height of
Capitalization for them.
yeah.
So I did a little research into like Hanoi rocks, that Vietnam. What is all? And basically, McCoy named the band, and it was basically based on a Ramones song called Chinese Rocks. And we'll get into like this band has got some punk influence.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, so Chinese rocks, and it's like, what does Chinese rocks mean? Is it's heroin basically,
Yeah.
and so obviously these guys are playing with that, but McCoy ended up finding out that in Hanoi, Vietnam, during the Vietnam War, he read about a story about American GIs towards the second half of the Vietnam War, where American GIs were buying cheap heroin in Hanoi. So they kind of they took out Chinese, put Hanoi, but that's
So the rock is like a rock of coke.
yeah. So so it's basically this. It was kind of a drug connotation or whatever you want to say to the band. Yeah, and this is their fifth release.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was going to mention
But
that.
this is the first one on a real label.
Yeah.
I think the other ones were just independent type.
This is one of these bands where when you first hear them, you think, oh, wow, this is a debut album. Then you look back and go, oh, they've been around since 77 or 74. Even like Scorpions.
Yeah.
I didn't really get into them until, what was the album before Blackout? Not Animal Magnetism.
Oh yeah, the Zoo.
I thought that was their first album.
Yeah.
And then I look back and I'm like, Christ, they've been out since 1969.
Yeah.
They had a catalog of albums,
Yeah.
But some of these bands, you don't realize how far back, and this band was one of them. I thought Hanoi Rocks was an 80s band. But
Yeah, I did too.
So what's interesting is they didn't chart in the U.S. at the time, but in the U.K. they were up to 28 in '84 when this was released. The other additional personnel, Bob Erzin, believe it or not, was the producer. And this, as you point out, this was their first major label, CBS.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, you want to get into it?
Nasty Suicide.
First song, Up Around the Bend.
Well, obviously a cover here.
Right.
Not a bad
Version
of it. They obviously have, like we already mentioned, a punk feel to it. But it was decent.
Changed it up a little bit. There's a breakdown with the bass and vocals.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad.
Yep, agreed. I don't have anything. I was just a little surprised that it was a
I'm surprised you come out of the gate
cover.
with a cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Usually you stick that in the middle of your album, but
So I did read. Oh no, this something else. Sorry, scratch that.
So I think what we're going to find is the producer's telling you something, Bob Erzin, that this is the band that's really, this release seemed like a desperate attempt to turn the corner in terms of being commercial, right? To get that, but let's break the U.S., let's get into America, right?
Yep.
So I guess we'll determine whether that was happening or not.
All right, second song was High School.
Here's your GNR punk, fast paced. Song was written by Erzin and McCoy. I thought the lyrics were. I just put downward arrow. I didn't really particularly care for the song. I thought the lyrics were stupid. You get trying to understand what he's saying.
corny lyrics.
Yeah.
Got on this one. Good opening riff.
Yep.
Punky.
Yep.
It's got that, anytime he's thinking about high school, it just reminds you of Ramones and that whole thing. There's obviously an influence there, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep, definitely.
I remember seeing this album back in the day, and I think I was disappointed because at the time, because when I looked at the band, I thought it was going to be like hard rock metal. Yeah. And really what we're talking about here is really kind of a New York Dolls punk rock band. This is essentially, and I'm not saying that's bad, I'm just saying that's what it was.
Yep.
But back in those days, we were getting hit with Judas Priest. We were getting hit with Iron Maiden. We had Van Halen.
That invasion.
We had the Sunset Strip coming in, and it was just, these guys weren't that, or at least this release. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think if I would have started, just me personally, if I would have started with them, listening to them back in, 79 or 81 when they first released, then you knew what you were getting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
First impressions really
it just surprises me that a band from Finland coming out with this sound. It's just strange to me. You know what I mean? That this is the genre that this band was. And I love the name. I mean, it is a great rock name.
Yeah.
I'd love to have that band name.
Yep.
But, all right.
All right. I can't get it.
Joan Jett vibe, I thought.
Yeah.
You know, okay song. I mean, I didn't think Andy McCoy, I thought he sounded pretty decent here. What's interesting is here we go, Bob Erzin again. When you see Bob Erzin's name next to a song that he's a co-writer, to me, I think this is where we're trying to get the commercial appeal,
Yep.
right? Because of his background.
Generally, producers, when they do contribute to albums, it's for the commercial element. You definitely hear that.
Ian Hunter's on this, too, as a co-writer.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, okay tune. I like the energy. Obviously, you know, it's like that energy of Bad Boys Don't Play Rock and Roll from Guns. You know, that it's same type of thing.
You know, it's interesting, Derek, Mark. We got another band from Finland, and it you know, it's challenging, I'm sure, for them to transition to the English lyrics, right? That don't come across as being stupid or corny, you know?
Yep.
Well, not only that, but getting the accent so it doesn't sound foreign.
Yeah.
And I think he does a better job. Obviously, Coney Bloom does a good job, but Loudness doesn't do a good job. You know, and I think that's what hurt that band was this guy couldn't sound American when he sang in English.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It was too much of an accent.
But the words were stupid,
The
too.
words are stupid because they
It's
don't
like,
know
what the-
how
come on.
Americans phrase words
Yeah,
and talk. So you put things together that just don't sound.
We're going to see a little of that here, too, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Underwater World.
Well, case in point, right? What the hell is he talking about? Underwater World. I thought the guitar riff was interesting, McCoy. I mean, I like his tone.
I like this
I think he
track.
can play. I mean,
Yeah, something
I'm
about
not
this
saying it's a
track I
bad.
like.
I'm not saying it's a bad song. I'm just.
No.
I actually I'm just saying it. I mean, try to understand the lyrics. I have
I
no
know.
idea what.
Yeah. The very cool riff, good melody over it. It's okay tune. Chorus
I like
is,
Monroe on this one.
chorus is a little poppy.
Yeah.
But you
And I
know,
think, was it Axel pulled that word, the
Welcome.
underwater in Welcome to the Jungle.
yeah. I
Right?
did read that.
He stuck that in there. And you could tell when you watch Monroe and some
Oh,
of
my
those
God.
early stuff, that's
Yep.
where Axel got a lot of that.
Yeah. He's got a
Stuff.
great voice. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
can we say that
Yeah, the
this
guy can
early
sing,
on
yeah.
here? I mean, he does have a distinctive voice. Heck of a lot better, I think, than Blackie that we just reviewed.
Yep.
Just not enough writing.
No.
Not the writing is not there.
All right. Don't You Ever Leave Me.
I think that like a ballady single where they try. It was just Ezrin trying to go for that here. Okay, track. You know, it
Yeah.
doesn't know if it gets there though. You know,
Yeah. No.
I just said ballad, you know. Actually a good solo, and the tune reminded me of like something that could be on the Poison's first album.
well, no, I think of L.A. Guns.
Yeah.
What's that ballad? They had
Ballad
a
of
ballad
Jane.
of Jane. You know,
Yeah.
I think that comes a lot from these guys are influenced
Oh,
by
yeah.
Hanoi Rocks. There's
Oh,
no doubt.
totally.
One of the guys in the band looks just like Kelly Nichols. I'm like, Christ, I thought it was him for a second. I go, is
Yeah.
Kelly Nichols in Hanoi Rocks?
So what's really interesting here is as far as writing credits, Monroe,
Nothing.
two.
Yeah.
Actually,
he's
they're
not
a million
writing,
miles
well, he's
away.
writing lyrics.
That's
No,
it.
I don't think he
He's
is.
not even writing lyrics.
No.
Who's writing?
No.
I think the guitar
McCoy
player
is
McCoy's
all over this. I mean, yeah.
All right.
All right, Million Miles Away.
This is the one with the keys, I think, the intro. McCoy comes in, and it's another ballad, right? I just put, I didn't like it.
No.
It's-
He's playing
well-
sax on it.
He's sax solo.
Yeah, which
Oh,
is pretty
I-
good.
It's not the right tune to follow the previous ballad.
Yeah, I
No.
know.
Like,
Yeah.
No. not a great track, and there's some strange mid change in the song. I'm like, wait a minute, did this thing skip?
I wrote the same thing, Mark.
What is going on here? They go into something else. Then I had to forward it, and they kind of go back, and I'm like, all right, I guess that was meant to be, but
An odd change in the guitar solo, and then it stays with it in that weird theme, and then it goes back to like a Spanish theme outro.
yeah, it's all over the place.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
All right, Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
Yeah, so at this point, I got this band's hard to put your finger on, right? This is rock meets punk meets new wave. I don't know. They're all over the place,
Yeah,
and I don't know if it's in a good way.
Right.
Sometimes that's not a bad thing, but I don't think it's working here.
I thought the good riff to start, but then the song kind of falls apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, more punky theme.
Yep.
All right, Boiler.
Is cool intro, AC/DC
Yeah,
like.
that's
Yeah.
what I wrote.
Yeah, chorus comes in that's kind of stupid, but the whole band was involved in the writing of this song. 4 minutes, 22 seconds.
Yeah, I said beginning, got a DC feel intro,
Yeah.
awesome, but definitely when the vocals kicks in, I don't like it. I said this blows.
I got music has an AC/DC feel. Like it until the vocals kicked in. Don't like
Mark,
it.
I wrote the exact same thing.
Wow.
That's what I got. I'm like, wow, I'm getting into this.
Yeah.
Obviously it's not original, right? It's
Right.
kind of got a DC, and then he kicks in. I'm like,
Oh, yeah. All right, Futurama.
I got straight up punk, and I hate punk.
Yeah.
That's all I thought.
Fast paced. Yep, definitely.
I don't like punk rock.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
I said,
Go ahead.
not my cup of tea, very, very punky.
Yep, 3 minutes, 8 seconds,
Yeah.
in and out.
I just don't like punk rock.
Oh, you're talking about the song?
Yep, 3 minutes, 8
minutes.
seconds. That's the punk formula. Yep,
Yeah.
In and out.
yep.
All right, Cutting Corners.
I got. I'm done.
Yeah,
Cutting
Crap.
This corner.
yeah. No big hook. And it's a long song by their standards.
4 minutes of that.
Yeah, 20
I-
seconds.
I said, I'm getting tired of this. This is the 10th song. They could have cut it. Silly
They could have
chorus.
cut 8 songs out of this.
I thought that they had like a little cheap trick thing going, like early cheap trick.
Yeah, they
but I
did
also
that.
thought, like, you guys mentioned GNR. Naturally, there's the GNR influence, but I also wrote down the underline L.A. Guns.
Oh, absolutely. We talked
I
about
thought L.A.
right?
Guns.
LA Guns, them, Faster Pussycat, Junkyard. They
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
came
They
from this
all
cloth.
have that. They come
Yeah.
from that cloth.
Yeah, which
know.
is weird because
Well, it'd
It's
be
one
interesting to see if
Yeah.
Razzle didn't die, which is that the real reason they broke up? Because why would you break up because your drummer died? I mean, if your guitar player, your singer died, okay, that's big.
Dennis, what he's telling you is drummers are not that important.
Not in this band. If it's Van Halen or Led Zeppelin or Motley Crue or someone like
Yeah.
that where you have a standout guy, but who's going to miss Razzle and Hanoi Rocks in 84
Yeah,
He was killed December 1984.
by Vince?
yeah.
Drunk
So-
driving.
I don't know where these guys. This band would have fit in great in the LA scene.
Oh yeah.
In that, if they were smart, which I don't know, where did they relocate or they stay?
They may have with
a Finnish band. Did they end up going to California? Because this kind of band would be more successful in the Sunset Strip back in those days
Right.
if they moved there. I mean, look at they influenced all those bands on the Sunset Strip. So
Yep.
it surprises me that they broke up. Like this, unless there were other reasons besides Razzle,
yeah.
dying.
So how do you fix this album? You fix this album by, maybe getting a different producer that's more. Monroe's voice is good. McCoy can play. They need help with writing.
There's no writing.
This is like, who Bon Jovi yet? Desmond Childs or,
Well, yeah.
maybe that's something like, okay, let's write American lyrics that make sense, that aren't stupid. And, they just needed help. They never got it.
They didn't have that.
All right, Mark, say what you will. Does it hold up?
This one's tough for me because I'm not a big fan of the style, and I'm not a big punk fan. But this band was influential on a lot of bands that come out
Yeah, we just named it.
off of this. But if we're going by music and songs, I'm saying no. It's a no for me.
For me, it's a lot. I'm saying definitely a no because I didn't think the music. I couldn't find 4 songs on here.
No.
Then
Yeah.
never mind 2, maybe 1 song. Now you want to tell me Hanoi Rocks was influential? Sure, let's go look at an album they did in '83 or '82.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as this album right here, I bought this and I remember listening to it being disappointed in '84, and I
agree.
It's the same where we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going by the album. We're not going by the band, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. All right, moving on.
What'd you say?
Oh, it doesn't hold up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My opinion doesn't matter. Come on. All right, Y&T in Rock We Trust.
Yeah, so this is their 6th album, like we talked about, like with even Hanoi Rocks. This is a band that's been around since the 70s. I didn't really get into them until the 80s.
We did their last album.
Yep. It's on. And
All right, I forget where I was at here. We had to take a little break.
John, I think, and your wife and stuff, and
Well, no, let's jump into Y&T.
Y&T. Let's do it. In Rock We Trust.
So we did the previous album, right?
Yeah.
yep. This is his 6th studio album,
Yep.
produced by Tom Colonel Alum.
Alum.
Alum?
Yeah. Yep. From Judas Priest fame.
Yeah. Reached number 46 on the Billboard.
It's their highest
200.
charting album.
Yep.
Yeah. Which surprises me. It charted higher than the album with
30,
Summertime Girls on
The
it.
Summertime Girls, yeah.
That's unreal.
Which was the next release.
Which is the biggest hit they've ever had.
That was
Yeah.
like a live album.
That came off.
And that only went
right.
to 93 or something.
Yep.
Which surprised me. I thought that would be.
Labels
Higher.
A&M.
Yeah, they're on A&M Records.
Have you guys checked out the documentary yet? It's phenomenal.
No, you
Oh,
told
Y&T?
us about
I told you
that,
on the
and
last
that
time.
is on my. I got to do it. Where is it on? Is it
Amazon Prime, I think you can rent it for $4 or
Okay, I
$3,
get it.
whatever
I'm
it
gonna
is.
do
It's
that.
well worth it.
Make a note of that.
Very good, Mark. Mark, you'd like it.
I love Y&T.
There's some good stuff in there.
So, lyrics all written by Kennemore.
Yeah. So
I thought Meniketti wrote.
he didn't
bass
even write
player.
the guitar.
Well, Jeffrey Lieb is lyrics with Kennemore, and the music is composed by Jeffrey Lieb and Y&T.
Yeah, so Lieb is actually he did a lot of work in the 1970s Motown. Then he started to get into pop with these guys in this album in 1984. He wanted to get into more mainstream. He worked with Lita Ford a little bit too after, but his claim to fame, he was a session keyboard player.
But back to Mark's comment.
And writer.
I was shocked, and I went, who's writing these? Dave doesn't write any of these things?
Well, Kennemore's the lyrics. I don't know. I would think Meniketti's writing
The music.
the music.
Yeah.
There are a couple here that says Lieb, Benny Labarge on a couple. I would think everything else would be Kennemore on the lyrics and Meniketti on the music.
I
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I got all music is composed by Y&T, the band.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Dan, you mentioned the producer. They
Yep.
said they wanted to bring him in to... Y&T had a problem where their albums are very polished sounding, but live, they had a great live presence.
Right,
And they were
yeah.
trying to bring him in to get a live presence on the album.
Now, you know
Did
what's
it work?
interesting? Alum were the same year, 1984, a few months back,
Defenders?
did Defenders.
Yeah. So he's
Busy
busy.
guy.
Yeah. All right. What else? We got anything else?
Just Meniketti, lead vocals, lead guitar, the lineup here. Joey Alves,
Yeah.
rhythm guitar, backing vocals. Phil Kennemore, bass, backing vocals. Leonard Hayes, drums and percussion.
And just a note, they're all dead, except
Yeah.
Meniketti.
Right. They were in the Monsters of Rock tour,
84?
August 18th, 1984 in England.
So that was with VH.
yeah.
Yep.
That
They
was-
did do a tour with Night Ranger. They did Backup Rush, and they did a triple bill with Twisted Sister and Dawkins.
Nice bill.
It's funny. You think of the music industry in the 90s and then jump back into the 80s. And there weren't many bands that could do the demands of the labels of putting out an album a year. Like, that was hard to fucking
Back
do.
then,
Yeah.
they had to write on the road in the buses
Yeah.
to be ready
And it's
for the
almost
next
like
year.
it's almost like it killed the industry.
Mhm.
You know? Van Halen got lucky and was able to do it. No problem.
They did it all the way up till
5150.
86.
Yeah.
Well, no, because then they did. Oh, you went to, well, that was a couple
Couple
of
years.
years later. But they would tour longer, too.
Yeah.
And then by the 90s, it was every, 3-4 years. And it got even worse by the 2000s. It was every 10 years you got an album from a band.
Here's a quote for you. Meniketti is one of the most underrated singers on the face of the earth. Guess who
Agreed.
said it?
Agreed.
Who said it? Oh, God.
Oh, who said it?
I don't know how you'd guess it, but think of a powerful singer that we've reviewed and loved his voice. Power.
Ronnie Deal?
That's it.
Really?
No way.
Yep. Yep.
That goes a long way coming from that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Most underrated singers on the face
I don't
of the
disagree
earth.
with that.
No. All right, let's jump in. Rock and roll gonna save the world.
So I'll start out. I like this song. I liked it then. I like it now. I thought this is a great song. It starts off, with that guitar, and then boom, it gets right into the riff. His vocal is just, and even the chorus. Sometimes these '80s chorus can get kind of
Corny.
cheesy, but I didn't mind it that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. See, for me, I'm not a fan of the rock and roll chant songs where you
Oh,
rock
the
and roll
lyric,
is going to
yeah.
save the world. Rock. You know what I mean? That I don't like that. I've never been a fan. There's tons of bands in the 80s that went for that.
Yeah.
But man, Meniketti's vocals are awesome.
Well, what about the riff? I mean,
Well, I said there was a little nod to rock and roll ain't noise pollution in this from
Oh, really?
DC.
yeah.
If you listen back, I go, yeah, there's a little bit of that going in it. Good track. I mean, not great, but good.
Again, Dave's voice is just so strong. It kicks the song up a notch when
Yep.
it kicks in. But I wrote not the energy that I wanted to hear on the first song. Kind of meh. The breakdown part was very cheesy, and it's a
Yeah.
little too long.
Yeah, that went
4 minutes,
4:42.
A little too
So
long.
that's getting long.
Yep.
So you guys are kind of thumbs down.
I'm on the
Yeah.
fence,
Okay.
but I love his voice.
Oh,
Right.
And,
phenomenal. Life.
Okay, so this is the one with the ripping guitar lead in the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it goes right into the vocal. Heavy riff, kind of basic. Drums. It was like this drum roll or drum into the solo,
Yeah.
mid-song.
I get, forgettable track for me. Okay, riff in the verse.
Yeah.
I thought the verse had a good riff in it. But as a whole, I thought the song's a little long. It's over 44 minutes again,
Yeah.
and not a great track.
Felt like a little bit of a Night Ranger-y pre-chorus to me. I liked the drumming and the mix, but wasn't top song for me. But, there's that vocal
Yeah.
It's amazing. Masters and Slave.
You want this, Mark?
Yeah, I like the chugging and the riff. I think that the riff had a good chugging.
Yep.
Decent track. Meniketti's keeping these songs together.
Big
His
intro.
His voice is just fucking on point.
Yeah.
I like the solo and the riff under the solo. They changed something in there during the solo. Not a bad tune.
This is my favorite song so far.
Yeah.
Like the chorus and the guitar riff. And I like the second section of the verse with the guitar. There's a little guitar riffy thing going on in there, but good tune.
Starting to wonder. I'm starting to think this guy's a great guitar player at this point.
Yeah, this guy can play.
Jesus, I just put the solo. I thought it was incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, that solo's great.
All right. I'll keep on believing.
I'm looking at this song, had single potential. I don't think it was, though. I don't know if there's any singles off this, but it's one of those songs that they could have, if they needed to. His voice is great. Good chorus. Decent track.
Just a typical 80s ballad type.
Right.
Decent solo. Decent track.
His vocal keeps you in the song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
no doubt,
I
no
mean,
doubt.
he just get you like you're gonna hang in there. You're not gonna punch out yet. You might be like, where's the hook or whatever. But man, that
His
guy's
voice.
voice.
Yeah.
All right. Breakout Tonight.
So this I thought was a bluesy. I thought there was a little bit of like a Great White to that. Then off we go. Powerful vocal. Oh my God!
Yeah,
and his
voice.
guitar playing. I didn't mind the song. I just. I liked it. I love Meniketti. I mean, I just think he sounds great.
I almost thought this was Great White Rock Me
Yeah.
when it kicked in. Loved the feel in the beginning of the track. Of course, another overused hard rock lyric, "Power in the Glory." Right? He uses that. It's like, wow, that was an '80s staple. The power in the glory. Good track though, and the solo was solid. Obviously, Meniketti can play.
I don't know. I said I didn't like the tempo of this song at all.
Okay.
And I didn't like any part of this song. It seems all over the place to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Lipstick and Leather.
This was a live staple, right?
Yep.
Back in the day. Decent track. Not great. But this is one of their bigger live songs that they play.
I think they still play it.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to hear this anytime you go see this band.
I put simple song. I thought there was a little bit of like a Kiss structure to it.
Yeah.
The band,
Yep. Like a Gene Simmons.
Yeah, heavy riff. I
Type.
mean, right. Again, his vocals great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had a decent tune, but it wasn't, I'm waiting to be blown away
Yeah.
Right.
because of the last album, and I'm waiting. All right, Don't Stop Running.
Man, I got best track on the album. Really catchy chorus. Like the verse. Meniketti's great on this. I think this should have been a hit. And I love the solo section of this song. This song is the best song in the album. And how this was not a hit back in the day was surprising to me.
Was it released as a single?
I don't know. I don't think
so. No.
Ugh.
But it's got every element
Yeah.
of a hit.
Yeah.
Could be. I said it could be a Sammy Hagar, Night Ranger.
No
Tom,
doubt.
You know.
I put Def Leppard chorus, I thought.
Just love this song. I go like, man, this
Just
should have
straight
been
ahead
huge
good
back
tune.
then.
Fast paced. Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed. Nothing to add there. Yeah. I put single with a question mark. Like,
Yeah.
How? Why?
Yeah.
Why wasn't it? Why was it? Was this A&M?
A&M.
Why aren't they pushing this song? I mean,
Yeah.
I hear this song. they're on my label. I'm listening. I'm going. This is it. This is what we're pushing out.
Yep.
But yeah, I read an interview with Meniketti where he said they just weren't getting the backing from these record labels.
It happens.
'Cause how do you let that song slide?
I know. Yep. All right. Your love is driving me crazy.
Well, I said it's strange that they'd release a song with that title 2 years after Sammy Hagar released that.
Oh, was it out 2 years?
Your love is
Oh no, I know the
driving-
tune, but I didn't know.
2 years later. And then the problem is when you have a song with the same title as another band in that genre, this song does not compete with Sammy Hagar's, which was a hit.
Right.
So I think that didn't help.
Did I hear Simmons drums on this in the beginning?
It is not that great of a tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you get down on that?
Yeah, saying I can't add anything else. You
vocals too. Love the breakdown section. I think it's the second best song on the album.
Yep.
And Meniketti just ripped on the solo. I mean, the
Oh,
guy can play
God.
guitar.
Yeah. I think
Guy's
that's
talented, dude.
I think that's the biggest takeaway. I mean, how can I never? I mean, I've seen him live. I mean, actually probably 5 times and stuff. And I mean, he shreds.
Oh,
Oh,
you know,
he
I mean, unbelievable.
yeah, the guy's great, talented.
I mean, he really, I don't think, got the credit
No,
that
he never got the
deserved
credit.
coming
He never
out of
got
this
the push.
period.
The band as a whole never got the push, so he never got the notoriety because the band never got anywhere.
Yeah,
They struggled for most of their career.
right.
yep.
You know, it sucks.
All right. I just said I did like the breakdown and the bass groove before the solo, but that was about it.
Yeah.
All right. Last song this time.
I just got, once again, this guy could sing the phone book. And it'd be great.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is, like I said, keeping these songs together.
Yep.
Not a fan of ending an album with a ballad.
Yeah, I put that strange ending.
But, you know, another great solo from him. Okay track. I wouldn't end the album with that. But, you know, okay.
All right. Well,
Do you know Meniketti's 70 years old this year?
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
70. Yeah. Yesterday and today was the original of the band.
All right. So, Dennis, say what you will. Come on.
On the spot, man.
It's all you.
Oh my God, this is difficult, Derek. I'm gonna say no because I don't think there's enough strong songs on here. I mean, we identified maybe 2 or 3, and it pains me to say that.
Yeah.
Because I really love this band.
I agree. I think if they had one more solid song, it didn't even have to be a hit, just a song
Yeah.
I liked. So it's a no for me. I just don't think it's enough material.
And it's hard because Dave is so good.
Oh,
at it,
he's
so
you
great.
know? It's just
Yeah. I mean, I think, Derek, this is a band, where it was like, mid 80s. He's trying to get a little commercial success going here. You got MTV that's, it just,
They
just
weren't
didn't
getting
work.
the push.
right.
They
Yep.
didn't get the push. That was the problem.
Push. All right.
Right.
We got to move. Let's do the what year was it?
Yeah.
What?
Couple of albums like we've been doing in the last couple podcasts. I give you the album, you tell me what year it came out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aerosmith Rocks.
I'm going to say
Obviously these are albums that we pre the podcast that we couldn't have reviewed. But great albums.
Rocks. I'm going to
And Dennis won the last time. Let's just make that clear.
I'm going to say 76.
Okay, I'm going to go 77.
Mark 76.
Wow.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Foreigner Head Games.
Ooh. I'm going to go 82.
Dennis?
1979.
Boom.
Oh, is it that early?
1-1 here.
Yeah.
We got Dan with one, and we got one question left. All right, you ready? And this is gonna be hard. I think you're both gonna get this. Judas Priest, British Steel.
I'm going to say 81.
Dennis?
Like, I can't take that. You're right, so I'm going to pick a different one.
I'm saying
Okay,
81,
you had to
dude.
because, because we got Defenders, and then there was,
Oh, you got Scream for Vengeance.
which was
83.
80, yeah.
I'm saying it's 81.
I'm going to say
You can say
1980.
Drum roll, Mark. We have a winner. Someone hit it right on the nose. Dennis!
Oh, are you kidding me?
You lost again?
What'd you say?
You've lost the last two.
What
1980.
You got to know your priest,
British
buddy.
Steel was 80?
Yeah.
Oh, I said 81. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
All right, here's something else.
Damn
Rip.
it.
Remember Rip magazine?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Rip Reader's Poll, 1980. No, excuse me, 1990.
Yeah.
We'll run through a couple of these. Best group of 1990. Is it?
Well, do we just guess, or
You
going to
can
give
just
us?
guess. I was going to give you a couple of bands, but you guess.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Slaughter.
1990. Jesus. Was that Nirvana?
No, that's
No.
later. Well, it's still
Faith No More.
Wow.
Ah,
Runner-up was Motley Crue. Best new group of 1990.
Slaughter.
You got
Wow.
it. Runner-up, Black Crowes.
Black Cross. Yeah.
Best vocalist, 1990.
I'm going to go. Well, Mark Slaughter
Anything?
or Sebastian.
No idea.
Jeff Tate.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I give
Best
that.
guitarist, 1990.
Still Edward?
No, I'm not going to go Eddie because they didn't have an album that year. DeGarmo?
No. Steve Vai.
Steve.
Best bassist, 1990.
Well, what's this based on?
Rachel
Rachel Bolan.
Geddy Lee.
Nikki Sixx.
All right.
Best drummer.
Tommy Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best tour.
Dr. Feelgood.
Motley.
Best live act.
Motley Crue.
Yep. Best album.
Dr. Feelgood.
Yep.
Wow.
They cleaned up. the worst group of 1990. You won't get this.
Worst group of metal band or hard rock band.
No, it's not even. New Kids on the Block.
Oh,
All right. So that was good. Dennis winning the album
hell?
last
I can't
two
believe that album came out in
podcasts.
80.
Yeah,
Could've
know
sworn
your
that was
priest,
80.
buddy.
Yeah.
You got to do your
Mother.
homework.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for listening. Share the podcast with your friends and family and teachers when you go back to school. Tell your music teacher about us.
We'll learn everything every time we do this. We'll
Yeah.
learn
Yeah, we'll
something.
learn.
Yeah, I'm learning Dennis is really good at knowing the albums of the year. But all right,
We
guys.
learn how bad some of these are.
Thanks all.
Thank you.
Peace.
See ya.